Good evening, and welcome to Houston Cider Songfest, the next monthly installment of virtual, socially distanced shows courtesy of the Houston chapter of Opera on Tap. Founded in New York City in 2005, Opera on Tap is, believe it or not, the largest international network of opera singers in the world. And it was founded on the belief that, contrary to stereotypes, opera isn't just for the hobnobbing top 1%, but it's for everyone. As such, we don't perform in your typical theaters, but once the pandemic is fully past us, you'll find Opera on Tap Houston in restaurants and bars all around Bayou City and beyond. For now, though, you can enjoy your distance performances here on Facebook or YouTube every month. Follow us on either of those platforms or on Twitter or Instagram for more details. Tonight's show, as I said, isn't just for the champagne-drinking upper crust, although no judgment if you are drinking champagne, but it's especially for us cider drinkers. Our performance this evening is brought to you in part by Houston Cider Company, and in my baritone claw right now, I'm holding their latest brew, the Soprano's Revenge! Give us a shout out in the comments if you're partaking tonight too, and if you missed The Sopranos Revenge for this evening, fear not. The Sopranos Revenge is a show you can get a mouthful of anytime you drop by Houston Cider Company in the Heights. With that said, we are pleased to bring you our first piece of this evening. Ooh, that's really nice. Even if you aren't an opera aficionado, you have likely heard the tune of the Habanera from Bizet's infamous masterpiece, Carmen. Based on a Spanish style of music and dance from the 18th century, the Habanera here is Carmen's expression of her fundamental life philosophy. Love is as fickle as a bird, and one may fall for someone who, in fact, loves another. This swinging lifestyle sets Carmen apart from many other operatic heroines, as she first seduces a soldier in order to escape prison, before latching onto a blustering bullfighter. However, her flexible philosophy winds up being her undoing, as that same soldier pursues her into a corner, the corner of death's door. Singing the Habanera from Bizet's Carmen, please welcome mezzo-soprano Abby Powell.
Et c'est bien on va qu'on le peine s'il lui convient de refuser. Rien n'y fait, nos sous-prières n'en parle bien, l'autre se tait. C'est l'autre que je préfère, il n'a rien dit, mais il me plaît. Il n'a jamais connu de loi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Et si je t'aime, si je t'aime, prends garde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, t'entends plus, il est là, autour de toi, vite, vite, il vient, s'en va, puis il revient. Tu crois le tenir, il t'évite, tu crois l'éviter, il te tient. L'amour est enfant bohème, il n'a jamais connu de loi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Si je t'aimais, prends garde à toi. Si tu ne m'aimes pas, si tu ne m'aimes pas, je t'aime. Mais si je t'aime, si je t'aime, prends garde à toi.
That last aria and this next one are both sung by the same voice type, mezzo-soprano, which literally translates to middle soprano, or a voice that's a little lower than a soprano, but not as low as a contralto. Much like the name suggests, mezzo-soprani, or as we call them in the biz, mezzos, span a wide array of roles, from saucy women like Carmen to adolescent boys. In the next aria from Massenet's Werther, the main character is again a mezzo, but the polar opposite of Carmen. Having raised her many younger siblings with just the help of her father, Charlotte is reserved and conservative. But when she is forced to choose between her fiancé and the man she loves, Werther, her distress is too much for her to bear, and she is no longer able to hide it from her sister as she pours out her emotion in this brief but chilling aria. That same distress is foretelling, for Werther suffers a dreadful fate at his own hands by the end of the piece. Singing Va, laisse couler mes larmes, please welcome Rachel Lamphier in her Opera on Tap debut.
So
et s'affaiblit. Il est trop grand, réduit et trop fragile et tout brise. Tout le brise.
If you've ever seen the musical Rent, you might recognize this next tune as Musetta's Waltz, which is named after the character who sings it in the opera that Rent is based upon, La Bohème. As in many other forms of media, operas often include a secondary couple to juxtapose the main two characters, and in Bohème, the tragic primary pair, Mimi and Rodolfo, are contrasted by Marcello and his fiery ex, Musetta. At this point in the opera, Musetta and Marcello have seen each other in a crowded restaurant, where she is now dating something of a sugar daddy, who she's not exactly into, but who buys her nice things. Opting to rub Marcello's face in it, she sings this boastful aria about how no man can possibly ignore her as she strolls down the avenue. Marcello tries his best, but in the end, who can resist a soprano's revenge? See what I did there? Get it? The cider. It's called Soprano's Revenge. Okay, you can resist my bad jokes, but you won't resist soprano Brennan Blankenship. We welcome her back. Take it away, Brennan.
Thank you.
Let's try that one more time.
This next soprano aria from La Sonnambula, or The Sleepwalker, comes from an opera with a pretty unusual plot. The character who sings it, Amina, is betrothed to Elvino, but when her sleepwalking problem lands her innocently in the bed of a local duke, Elvino's jealous ex starts a nasty rumor about her throughout the village, nearly ruining her upcoming marriage. Thankfully, the duke in question helps to clear things up, and upon seeing her lament her situation in another bout of sleepwalking during this aria, so sleep singing as well as sleepwalking, Elvino can't help but reunite with Amina. Singing A non credea mirarti, please welcome soprano Natalie Connor.
Hello, my name is Natalie Bodkin, and I would like to sing A non credea from La Sonnambula.
Non credea
Enjoying the show so far? We sure hope so. This Soprano's Revenge is so delicious that it's almost making my jokes better. Almost. But hey, there's something that you can do to help us make our shows even better, and that's chipping in a few bucks toward our cause. Opera on Tap is a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and as such, the only people making money off of our shows are our performers. Help us continue to provide Houston with accessible classical music by hitting that Facebook donation button above or donating via Venmo to @OperaOnTap, which is managed by our founder, Ann Hyatt. Next up is our first of several show tunes tonight from The Waitress, a musical with a score by singer-songwriter Sarah Bareilles. The title, She Used to Be Mine, sounds like a lovelorn lyric, but in reality, it's about self-reflection. You see, the titular waitress, Jenna, has had to endure an abusive marriage and an unexpected pregnancy, and at this point in the show, after her husband finds and steals the money that she'd been saving for herself and the baby, she breaks down, wondering how she can revive her life after so much heartache. It's a dark musical, but one that, unlike many opera plots, is reflective of the struggles that many women face every day. Luckily, Jenna gets her happy ending in this show. But if you're a woman facing similar struggles, or anyone with similar struggles, we recommend the Houston Area Women's Center, which has a 24-hour hotline, or, for national folks, the Domestic Violence Support Hotline can be reached at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-SAFE. With that said, performing She Used to Be Mine, please welcome back Rachel Lamphier.
It's not simple to say that most days I don't recognize me in these shoes and this apron. That place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never attention street center, but I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for help. She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She's all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. And it's not what I asked for. Sometimes life, it just slips in through the back door and carves out a person who makes you believe it's all true. But now I got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two. For the girl that I knew, who is reckless just enough, who can hurt, but who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by a man that can love. And then she gets stuck and is scared She is messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She's all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She's gone, but she used to be mine.
This next selection is our first art song of the evening. For those not in the know, at its core, an art song is just a poem that a composer has set to music. And in this case, it's the German poem Die Weihnacht, or May Night, by Ludwig Hölty. Highly naturalistic, this poem compares a quiet, lush night to some unspoken darkness encumbering one's soul, and the name Hölty gives to the source of his sorrow is Lächelndes Bild, or smiling vision. As such, this poem could be interpreted to be a cliché about a missing loved one, but based on the introspective text about observing nature, it might perhaps be more about some unknown longing that one is unable to place. Either way, Johannes Brahms sets it beautifully here with a simple, unhindered melody accompanied by a lilting piano figure. Singing this art song by Brahms, please welcome back Abby Powell.
Wann der silberne Mond durch die Gesträuche blickt und sein schlummerndes Licht über den
pivoting back to musical theater here, we now turn to a number from composer Frank Wildhorn's bombastic show, Jekyll and Hyde, about the infamous transforming scientist gone mad via his own experimental machinations. The librettist, that's the person who writes the script and lyrics of a musical or opera. The librettist, Steve Cooden, centers the drama of Dr. Jekyll's transformation into the maniacal Edward Hyde against the backdrop of a love triangle, as Jekyll and Hyde both are after separate women, with each of whom the original Doctor has a particularly complicated relationship. In contrast to the exotic dancer Lucy, Dr. Jekyll's devoted fiancée, Emma, sings this next song to him as his secret is slowly becoming unraveled. Having observed his erratic, mysterious behavior and knowing that something must be wrong, Emma begs Dr. Jekyll, in this song, to confide in her, to remember the dream that they share together. Singing Once Upon a Dream, we welcome back soprano Natalie Connor.
Hello, my name is Natalie Connor, and I would like to sing Once Upon a Dream from Jekyll and Hyde.
Once upon a dream, we were lost in love's embrace. There we found a perfect place. Once upon a dream. Once there was a time like no other time before. Hope was still an open door. Once upon a dream, and I was unafraid. The dream was so exciting, but now I seem to fade, and I am here alone. Once upon a dream, you were heaven sent to me. Was it never meant to be? Was it just a dream? Could we begin again? Once upon a
This is your friendly mid-show reminder that if you are loving these fabulous performances, please consider clicking on that Facebook donate button or giving via Venmo to @OperaOnTap. The account name for Venmo matches our founder's name, the lovely Anne Hyatt, but if you put Houston in the description box, we will get every penny. Fear not. That last number was from a musical, which is a piece of music where the singers usually are mic'd and have dialogue between numbers, but this next piece is from something between musical theater and opera, the operetta. First developed in France in the mid-1800s, operetta soon swept across Europe. Its unique and often comical combination of song and dialogue is especially popular in Austria, where this next piece from Die Fledermaus was first performed. In Die Fledermaus, which is German for the bat, the title character is so named for the costume he was wearing when he played a prank on his best friend, Dr. Falke, who has developed a plot to get his revenge. Not to be confused with The Sopranos' revenge, because Falke is played by a baritone. This is an elaborate plot to invite that same bat, real name Eisenstein, to a masked ball, where Falke plans to humiliate him in front of his friends, including his maid Adele and his wife Rosalinda, whom Falke has secretly invited to the ball as well. At the height of this comedy of disguises, Eisenstein's wife is nearly caught in her disguise as a Hungarian countess, but in a display of dramatic exoticism, Rosalinda performs this aria, Klänge der Heimat, musically styled off of the Csárdas, a kind of Hungarian folk dance in real life that starts slow and gradually gets faster and faster and faster and faster. Performing the show-stopping Csárdas from the operetta Die Fledermaus, give it up for Brennan Blankenship. Thanks for that high note, Brennan. I hope everyone remembered to drink. So far tonight, we've heard music in Italian, French, German, but did you know that Russian opera is also totally a thing? The composer most famous for writing the ballet The Nutcracker, Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky, can also be credited with helping to develop opera in Russia. Although he certainly wasn't the first Russian opera composer, his pieces had a flair for drama and were an important movement away from the fiercely nationalistic works of earlier composers, such as Mikhail Glinka. The Queen of Spades is the perfect example of Tchaikovsky's emphasis on storytelling over patriotism. Based on a short story by Alexander Pushkin, this opera tells a sordid tale of a young man who falls for the granddaughter of the titular Queen of Spades, an elderly countess rumored to have lured the secret formula to gambling out of gentlemen through romantic trysts. In this next aria, sung by the mezzo role of Paulina, the plot is foreshadowed as, through a simple but haunting melody, Paulina tells a seemingly innocent story of a girl at play who eventually stumbles upon her own grave. Similarly, the main protagonist, Hermann, eventually forgets his love for the granddaughter and is overtaken by greed, forcing the secret formula out of the Queen of Spades. But her ghost eventually gets her revenge. Singing Paulina's aria from the Queen of Spades, give it up for Abby Powell. Pardon me while I queen out a little bit here, but The musical this next number is from Cabaret is one of my favorite pieces of any kind of theater, really. Anyone who believes that show tunes are merely sunshine and rainbows would be hard-pressed to hold on to that theory after watching this dark satire set in Germany around 1930, when the Nazis are slowly coming into power before World War II. The terror of watching characters forced to make impossible choices about everything from their politics to whom they hold most dear is juxtaposed against intermittent burlesque and cabaret numbers that satirize the political turmoil surrounding the performers. The main character, Sally, pivots between both worlds, performing as the cabaret bar's headliner while maintaining a relationship with its owner, Max. When she meets a bar-goer, Cliff, though, he sweeps her off her feet, and eventually, after the owner Max kicks her out, she moves in with Cliff instead. When she learns that she's pregnant, however, she can't be sure who the father is, and so she reluctantly decides to abort the baby, much to Cliff's chagrin. You see, at the heart here is more than the baby or their relationship. It's Sally's entire escapist worldview, which is the main conflict of the story, as she continues to try to remain stagnant and passive and keep her life the way it is amid the social upheaval of Berlin at the time. Cabaret is a painful, powerful, and deeply irreverent reminder of the dangers of remaining complacent in the face of social and political ruin. But hey, maybe this time, humanity will be a little wiser, right? Cheers to that. Singing maybe this time from Cabaret, we welcome back Rachel Lamphier.
Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. Maybe this time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. He will hold me fast. I'll be home at last. Not a loser anymore, like the last time and the time before. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. With all the answer there in my favor, something's bound to begin. It's gonna happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll win. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. Well, all the answer there in my favor, something's bound to begin. It's gonna happen
Hey, high note, drink. Come on, belting. Speaking of which, though, since the development of recording technology, the operatic voice has gradually lost its place on the musical theater stage to a more rock-oriented style of belting. To put it another way, things have gotten a little less Sound of Music and a little more Rent over the years. Excuse me. I guess that's Soprano's revenge. It's having its revenge on me, huh? No. Anyway, for the reason I'm explaining now, the success of The Light in the Piazza in the year 2005 was unusual, even refreshing. With a lush, heavily orchestrated score written by Adam Gettel, The Light in the Piazza tells a story of a beautiful, neurodivergent young woman named Clara who struggles to express her feelings appropriately, but who falls in love with a young Italian man in Florence, Italy. It's clear from this score that Gettel loves opera, as one of the first musical numbers in the otherwise English libretto is entirely in Italian. The story, too, is refreshing because it's deeply humanizing of neurodivergence and places the weight of Clara's dilemmas not on her mental capacity, but rather on the judgmental and anxious family and friends all around her who seem incapable of accepting her in the way that Fabrizio, that Italian boy whom she eventually marries, does accept her. Performing the beautiful title song from The Light in the Piazza, we welcome back Natalie Connor.
Hello, my name is Natalie Connor, and I would like to sing Light in the Piazza from Light in the Piazza. I don't see a miracle shining from the sky. I'm no good at statues and stories. I try. That's not what I think about. That's not what I see. I know what
Unlike the dark cynicism of Cabaret, Leonard Bernstein's Candide uses satire with more irreverence and absurdity as cataclysm after cataclysm befalls the protagonists of this story. Raised in a sheltered and highly privileged home life, the main couple of Candide and Cunegonde are ignorant of the world's woes, until they come crashing at their doorstep in the form of the Bulgar army's attack on their castle in Westphalia. This show's plot is almost too convoluted to follow, even when you do see it in person, with each of the main characters repeatedly murdered brutally, only to be revived shortly thereafter by mysterious and varied means. But the main premise of the show is the importance of learning how to make the best of situations, no matter how dire. Few characters embody this ethos as much as the old woman, who is played by a mezzo. You see, mezzo-sopranos often play older characters because, as a mezzo friend of mine has once said, some old lady needs to stand there and listen intently as the soprano sings about her own problems for 20 minutes. However, the old woman in Candide is more than just a bystander, and her sly wit frequently gets the group of faux heroes out of particularly sticky situations. In this next number, she boasts of her own flexibility, her ability to assimilate no matter how difficult the problem that the group winds up facing, or the country for that matter. Singing Easily Assimilated from Candide. Give it up for Abby Powell.
everyone. I am Anna Deemer, your co-managing diva of personnel and programming. And I wanted to say a special thanks to our singers tonight. Thanks to Abby, who you just heard, Brennan, Natalie, and Rachel, who was making her Opera on Tap Houston debut tonight. Love that. Thank you. All of the sopranos and mezzo-sopranos that sang for the Sopranos Revenge performance. We want to say a special shout out to the Houston Cider Company for creating this flavor just for us. If you missed picking up this special collab before tonight's show, they will be open tomorrow from 12 to 5. You can order online and then go by the Cider Company in the Heights to pick up your cider. And they're open every weekend on Friday evenings and on Saturday afternoons. If you want to go enjoy more wonderful cider for any of our upcoming performances. The reason I am here is to announce our upcoming performance. We are bringing back All Facht Up. We were going to do our second annual competition last year, but the pandemic happened in the middle of that, so we are bringing it back in a live stream form. And this time we will be offering a $100 grand prize audience favorite. So singers, this is your call. If you are interested in performing for us and competing, because we all know that there's that one aria that's from a different Fach. For those of you listening tonight that think that I am saying the F word, it is not. It is Fach with a ch. It's very German, and that refers to voice type. So if you were interested in that one aria that you've always wanted to sing that is out of your Fach, please sing it for us. We would love to have you. I will be accepting submissions up through April 10th, and I believe the show is Friday, April 16th. I will pop it in the chat if I'm getting that date wrong right now. But we would love to have you. If you are not a singer, we would love to have you tune in to that performance, and you'll be able to vote on your favorite. Super excited. I'll be posting all this information to our social media immediately following the show, but you can reach out to me. And also singers, if you're listening and just want to perform with us in general, not necessarily for All Facht Up, you can always message me on Facebook, message Opera on Tap on Facebook or Instagram, or you can email me at anna@operaontap.com. I'll put all this information in the chat. Thanks y'all for listening, and it's going to go back to Ramin.
Thanks so much for that, Anna. And that's right, everybody. You took all those notes on the definition of a mezzo-soprano, only for it to be utterly meaningless for All Facht Up on April 16th. That's how it goes, right? As Anna said, that show is on April 16th, and to keep up with information about that and any of our upcoming shows, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube to watch the shows themselves. We've been able to continue paying our artists for months, thanks in no small part to viewers like you. So I want to encourage you just one last time, if you feel so inclined, to donate $1 or $2 on that Facebook donation button up top, as well as, if that doesn't work for you, on Venmo at Opera on Tap. But with all of that said, our final song this evening is for all of you band geeks tuning in tonight. In fact, it's from a show literally called Band Geeks. And yes, by the way, I can call you geeks because I played piccolo in high school marching band, so it takes one to know one. This show is all about a small but mighty high school marching band doing their best to survive in this cold, post-COVID world. Just kidding. Band Geeks premiered in 2010. In this next number, the flutist, Laura, laments her fate to forever being friend-zoned as her oblivious fellow bandmate refuses to notice her true feelings. Rounding our evening out with this rousing number, Lost in the Brass, give one last round of applause for soprano Brennan Blankenship.
There it goes again. Moment's gone, and I'm too lame to speak. Another wasted opportunity. Always waiting for something to happen, but nothing's gonna happen. Not for me. Buddy, I'm always buddy. I'm a girl, for your information, forever in this situation, waiting and hoping he'll notice how I'm feeling. But every time I get him near, I fade away, I disappear. That's me, never getting heard. He just smiles and walks away like I never said a word. Oh, oh, can anybody hear me? I just know I know. But my melody can never be heard clearly. I just get lost in the brass. Flutes don't sparkle quite like batons. There's no visual attraction, no stimulus reaction. Pretty music, that's all the pretty that I've got. I'm special in a quiet way, at least that's what my parents say. Whatever, they were never in the band, and their hair is turning gray. No, they don't understand. Oh, can anybody hear me? I just know I could spot brass, but my melody can never be heard clearly. I just get lost in the brass. I get so lost in the brass. Listen, I'm not background noise. Listen, I make music. See me, I'm not one of the boys. I shine on my own. So I don't wear makeup. I don't stick my hair up with some awesome-tastic pink beret. No, I'll never be a majorette. I'm plain basic, and I sweat when I get nervous. I suck at popularity. People just don't notice me, but someday high school's got to end, and I'll finally find a place where this woodwind doesn't blend. Oh, there's a whole world to be pursuing if I could just get out and leave this all here in the past. But remember me thinking, gosh, how is she doing? But I'll be long gone. Oh, I'll be solo avocado, cutting loud and clear, right through the tuba blast, soaring high above that clumsy bass vibrato. I won't be lost in the brass. And finally they'll see there's so much more to me, at last I won't be lost in the brass, lost in the brass.
Thank you so much for joining us for yet another installment of our virtual concerts brought to you by Opera on Tap Houston. Whether it's in your living room or in bars all over H-Town, we are proud to continue bringing free and accessible opera to you, the people of Houston, and these days, the World Wide Web, baby! If you believe that opera should be enjoyed by people regardless of status, please remember to click that Facebook donate button above or send a donation to us on Venmo at Opera on Tap via Ann Hyatt. Be sure to include the word Houston on Venmo in the What's It For section. Every little bit helps. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And once again, thank you to our performers, Abby, Rachel, Natalie, and Brennan. Cheers, everyone, and good night. Bye.